Hey everybody,
Hey
welcome to the
everybody,
Cosmic.
welcome to.
Oh, sorry. I
Hey
thought
everybody,
I thought I was gonna
hey,
do it this week.
bro, it's okay. Hey everybody, welcome to the Cosmic Panel.
Hey
Where
everybody,
today we're
hope you're doing well. We
okay.
are
What?
back with the weekly
Hey,
comic polls.
no, guys, it's me. Hey everybody, welcome to the Cosmic Panel. It's my
Hello
week to intro.
everybody, it's
It's
me
my week
Elias,
to fucking
and
intro.
I'm here at the
Hey,
Cosmic
hey,
Panel,
Hey guys,
and we're
welcome to the
gonna
Cosmic Panel.
do
I'm
the
going to be
Cosmic
muting
Panel.
Elias at this point, hopefully, if I'm editing this video. And yeah, I am the one introing this video
Can't mute me,
because,
can't mute me, can't mute me, can't mute me. If I keep talking, you can't mute me. Oh la la la
yeah,
la
I can
la
do
la la
anything I
la
want. I
la
have editing
la 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 la
powers.
la 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 la
Nuke
la
him!
la. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cosmic Panel. Back again with the weekly comic polls. And we got a lot of cool books to talk about today. But before we get into that, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Comic Universe, located in Folsom, PA. If you guys are in Philly, this is well worth a drive. These guys have a lovely selection of back issues. They got a great section of dollar bins. They got trade paperbacks and hardcovers. They got toys, Pokemon cards, and new comics every Wednesday, and so much more. Please give them a visit. They got a great selection, great shop for both comic readers, new and old. And if you guys see Mike and Mike, tell them the Cosmic Panel sent you. Thanks, guys.
Remember to like, subscribe, comment down below what polls you're pulling this week. And Elias, what's your first poll?
My first poll for this week is going to be Avengers Assemble #1. This is a brand new Avengers series, which looks very, very fun. I am a sucker for Lionel Francis Yu. He's doing the covers on all these books, making it feel very legit and clearly something that they care about. This features some of the characters that we had from the Blood Hunt era of Avengers, Steve and Hercules, who were always fun Avengers characters to deal with, of course. And the creative team we have is Steve Orlando and Corey Smith. Very solid team. I'm curious to see what Steve has planned here. This is definitely going to address some of the Blood Hunt stuff, and hopefully kind of take us into a new era for Avengers. Avengers, in my mind, should be like a pretty large and expansive team that can kind of tackle different world issues, splinter off into different groups if they need to. So I'm curious to see how this goes, and if this is something that people want right now.
Yeah, honestly, this lineup is really eclectic, and I really like it. Especially because some of these characters have been teased to rejoin the Avengers team for a while now. Um, like She-Hulk, in her own run, in the last issue of her run, it was her coming to grips with like joining the Avengers again. So it was interesting to now see her in this. But yeah, this Monica Rambeau, Wonder Man, who we haven't seen in since before the X Force final two issues, we hadn't seen in a while. Hercules, we got Hawkeye, we got Monica, got Shang-Chi, who we haven't seen since Thunderbolts. So honestly, it's a pretty great lineup with a lot of heavy hitters and a lot of street level people.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what threats they have to tackle. If we're going to get new villains, old villains, what the deal's going to be. But either way, I'm excited to crack this open.
Yeah, should be fun.
All right, Lucas, what's next up for you? Or what's your first pick?
First pick for me is Time Waits #1. Chip Zdarsky, just always killing it with new stuff. So I'm very excited to see what he's going to be doing with a time travel story. Whether it be him, I think he works best when he's doing indie stuff. To be honest, haven't been a huge fan of his Batman run, but man, his indie stuff, whether it be Public Domain or uh, Brightburn or not Brightburn, whatever, the detective story, and then this.
Newburn.
Uh, was it Brightburn?
Newburn.
Newburn, that was it. Okay, Newburn. Um, but yeah, no, I think Chip works best when he's has complete creative control, and Distillery so far hasn't really missed with any of their stories. I've actually really been enjoying their stuff from what I have read. And so I'm actually really excited to see what this story is going to be because it's basically about a man trapped in the past, which is our present, and him basically knowing what the future is going to bring, but not being able to trying to hide basically from people that are like in the future trying to target him. So it's pretty interesting. I'm excited to read it.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm glad Chip is hopping on as a writer on one of the Distillery books. I'm not super familiar with um, the other writer, David Brothers, but Marcus Toe, I have seen a lot of his art before. He's very solid. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what this is going to be all about.
Yeah, should be interesting nonetheless.
Yeah.
What's next up for you, Elias?
Next up for me is going to be Uncanny X-Men #2. First issue was a lot of fun. I'm just so happy to see David Marquez back in the saddle on an ongoing book. Everything he does is just so clean, so fun. And yeah, we had a very interesting first issue that kind of set up some stuff that I'm sure they'll come back to at the very end. Gambit being a master thief, stealing the second eye of Agamotto, and Rogue and Wolverine sort of sensing something off. And now we have new characters that are being introduced called the Outliers, that are a new group of mutants that seem young and inexperienced, and that possibly could be a danger to the Uncanny
Yeah,
X-Men. So yeah, I'm excited to get into the second issue. I think this run has a lot of potential.
yeah, and I really did love the moment with that one child. Um, I love that Logan was able to tell that this was going to be like one of his final moments, and I loved how much it affected the group, just because. I mean, it goes to show like they're still people, like they're superheroes. They deal with stuff, but they're still at the end of the day they're still people with emotions. And even these guys who are known usually for being like the rough and tumble X-Men still have that soft side to them. I also love Rogue leading the team. It feels very natural, especially considering that we have so many different teams now being led. And I also like that Rogue acknowledges the Cyclops team. I like that Cyclops acknowledge. I'm glad that they're each acknowledging each other, that they exist, and not being like, yeah, I'm gonna make my own team because I hate you, and like it's nothing antagonistic. It's just I'm gonna do my mission. You guys have a different mission completely from ours, and I like that.
Yeah. And I like that so far, the main focus has just been Wolverine, Rogue, and Gambit. It's an interesting trio. I forget exactly what it was, but I think Rogue sent something off with Wolverine. Was that what it was? I think because she was the narrator, I believe.
Yeah,
So I'm curious to see what's up with that. And
I mean,
yeah,
man has been through a lot. Let's be real.
yeah. I thought maybe it was something like mystical or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that is fair. I also picked that up. Also, we still don't have Jubilee yet as part of the story, so interested to see when she's going to come in.
Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us to your next pick, Lucas.
Yeah, my next pick is Transformers number 12. We are now near the end of the second story arc, and we jumped to a place I did not expect. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting for Cybertron to appear in front of Earth. Only 12 issues into the story, but yeah, it seems like Cybertron just got teleported right in front of the Earth, and seems like the Decepticons are about to destroy the Earth so that they can rebuild Cybertron. Pretty crazy. I thought we were gonna be
Damn,
maybe
rip.
like hiding out as like cars for a bit or something. No, we just spawned the whole planet in front of Earth. Absolutely berserk. Absolutely insane that we're already reaching this. But honestly, it makes sense. This story is kind of building upon the idea of like if you know the previous history, you should know where the story is essentially going. So there's no like quote unquote surprise for certain people. But yeah, very very wild, and we're getting more and more characters every issue.
Wow. Very cool. And they got to wrap up the arc with this issue, which is nuts. I mean, Cybertron just appeared.
Yeah, they fucking Decepticons teleported it over, and it was just like, oh well, it's fully here. Okay, like I was not expecting them to actually lose that fight.
Wow.
Like I was like, oh no, they're going to stop it, and then we're going to spend like an arc recovering, and then nope, the Decepticons just won. They teleported it over, and so now all the Autobots and all the Decepticons are on Cybertron can probably come onto Earth,
Mm-hmm.
which is horrifying.
Wow.
But that also means more Energon for people, which also means more GI Joe stuff. Like there's repercussions to this outside of just the Transformer series, which I like too.
Right.
But yeah, it's gonna be wild. What's next up for you, Elias?
Next up for me is going to be Spider-Man Reign 2, number 3. Last issue, I can't lie, was a bit strange. Bit of a detour that I wasn't expecting. And I wasn't sure if it was a dream sequence, but they stuck with it for the whole issue, so I'm assuming it's not. But it seems like Peter is indeed time traveling. It's unclear to me whether or not this is classic time travel or actually alternate universe travel. But it all happened very fast, and again, the whole issue was spent on this, so it's a little disorienting, to say the least. But that's one of the reasons I'm excited to get into this issue, because on this cover, we do see Miles actually interacting with Peter, and so I'm hoping that that is the focus of this issue, and hopefully Miles will yank him out of whatever weird, fucked up universe he's in, where basically MJ is Venom. But yeah, it's a little topsy-turvy right now, and I'm hoping that this third issue will kind of right the ship a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited to get into this issue nonetheless. And like I've said before, Care Andrews' art has just reached a new level, and it's really fun to see in this series.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely insane. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. All right, Lucas, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is Fantastic Four number 25. We are 25 issues deep into this Ryan North series, and man, does he not let up. He really doesn't. We had this awesome arc about these beings that were riding particles to escape their destroyed planet and using time dilation. It was an insane issue that made you feel smart in a very unique way because it explained really, really high intensive concepts in a relatively understandable and digestible way. But even
Science
outside of that,
masterclass.
yeah, exactly. But even outside of that, we had the appearance of the one above all near the end of the 24th issue, and he just saves Reed, and Reed is like, I must have hallucinated that. Okay. it's like, oh my god, we're dealing with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that even when we're dealing with like science adventures, there's still like some cosmic stuff that is lurking in the background. And it warned Reed of some stuff. It warned Reed of something. So that is concerning. But hopefully that means one day, my sweet boy Reed Richards will become the scientist supreme. One day. No, but in all actuality, pretty crazy. But yeah, this story is going to be following them going into Latveria, basically, and trying to encounter Doom. They've been trying to get to Doom and trying to understand his plans, but literally they just haven't had the time, and the whole particle thing kind of like made them have to sidetrack from that, because the thing with the particles hitting people and damaging buildings and stuff, it was like way too dangerous to not acknowledge. So yeah, I really love the series. I'm really excited for this oversized issue, and let's go. Also, this is the last.
Rest in peace to Alex Ross.
I was gonna say,
no longer with us on the covers.
Yeah.
It's the end of an era.
But I'm sure the quality won't decline.
He went out with a banger, though. He went out with a couple bangers.
Yeah,
that last cover was for 24 was incredible. It had nothing to do with the story inside.
Nothing.
But
absolutely nothing.
But it was a beautiful cover, so it's all right.
I really was like, when I saw the cover, I was like, man, wait, Uatu and like all the Inhumans are going to come in. So
how are they pulling Uatu in here? It's like, yeah.
I was like, man, they're going to bring in no, none of them are in the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, crazy arc. I actually really like. Honestly, I usually love my one shot arcs that they've been doing. This 2 issue arc was actually really nice. It was a nice change of pace because we got perspective of Johnny at the beginning, and then
Mhm.
second book we got Reed, which is
Yep.
nice.
And then you get both of them at the end there discovering the baby. So
Yeah.
it
Oh yeah.
was
I completely forgot the baby is wild too.
super neat, just so well orchestrated. Ryan just has such a clear, concise way to tell these stories and really make all these immense concepts feel just a little bit more digestible. Um, but yeah, I'm not mad at Joshua Cassara taking over the covers here. He's also a great artist, and
Yeah.
it is a surprising shift for sure. But I'm excited to get into this celebratory issue. I hope this series never ends. I love this series and this team so much. Carlos Gomez on the interiors, I think, is been great. And yeah, just
Yeah.
keep it
What's
going, man.
the?
I can't get enough.
I hope they hit Legacy 750 because that would be crazy for
Yeah,
uh for Ryan North to hit 700 and then 750. But yeah,
right.
we're getting there.
718.
Yeah. So
I hope so, man. This has just been such a fun run. It's just such a good status quo to have the FF under. I don't see any reason to reboot this
yeah, no,
or change
seriously,
it up. It's just so
it
effective.
is it is the Marvel's equivalent of World's Finest.
Yeah,
Just great storytelling. Doesn't always need to be in continuity, but when it is, it works really well. And
consistent.
just yeah, just fun. This is such a refreshing run, especially after the previous runs that have kind of like put the Fantastic Four under the rug and the humans, and kind of giving them the spotlight instead of Fantastic Four, and then also that weird Dan Slott run, which I wasn't a huge fan of. There were certain stuff I liked, but not everything. Um, so this is such a we're back to Fantastic Four as they were in the early 2000s, just doing science shit, just doing fun experiments. Sci-fi book, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it feels classic in that way. It feels like the original shit, um, in content, but again, not in dialogue. Very similar to World's Finest as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think Stan Lee could have explained the particle shit as seamlessly as Ryan North could have easily.
Yeah,
Also, man, the amount of studying that Ryan North probably has to do just to get this type of stuff, like he's not he doesn't have a background with with science. That's the crazy thing. He did Adventure Time books. Like this isn't his bread and butter. It'd be different if it was, but yeah, no. He's just you can tell he's putting in a lot of effort for this.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Anyway, what's next up for you, Elias?
Next up for me is going to be Green Lantern number 15. As you guys know on the channel, I've been loving this book, loving the backup stories as well. They've always been really important, especially to building out this kind of corrupted Lantern Corps that we have. Last issue, the backup story was about the Shadow Lanterns, where basically they're showing that Lord Premier Tharos is somehow, or at least theorized, somehow controlling who these rings are going to, and they're sending them to weak-willed people or people who are easily influenced or controlled, so that Tharos can dictate what they do. And I thought that was a really cool and interesting short story and a tragic one for our narrator.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And yeah, I was happy to see in Absolute Power number 3 that Hal's weapon stash did come into play, and he was able to arm a lot of the powerless heroes that we have on the sidelines. And, you know, that was a cool inclusion. I'm curious to see what issue 15 holds. Hopefully, it will show the battle on Themyscira and where Hal falls into that. But yeah, this has been a fun arc for sure, and I'm excited to get into this next issue.
Yeah. Also, we got Hal trying to get to the power battery, um, and that's going to be interesting because Waller's not going to let him do that easily, for sure. But also, we didn't mention Kyle now accessing the shame emotion. Pretty wild. Kyle just casually revealing even more and more emotions now that they're just getting unlocked, I guess. Do you think this is setting up the path for like creating more emotions on the emotional spectrum?
Um, I mean, I guess I'm curious to see whether they're going to stick with these, like sorrow and you said shame, right? Was the other one?
Yeah, so one was shame, which was the ultraviolet, and then sorrow. I meant to say sorrow, but yeah, shame is one of them. Sorrow, which is now gray.
Sorrow was the yeah, Sorrow was Carol's fiance.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to
Um,
say that.
okay, no, it's all good. I just was clear. I
But
thought I missed
shame
something.
is the ultraviolet, which we haven't touched on in a while, actually. Now that I think about that too.
Yeah. So what I'm curious to see though is if they continue to maybe build cores around these new emotions, or if they're just gonna disappear once Hal like figures out what's actually wrong with the battery and all that kind of stuff.
It'd be interesting if humanity. It turns out that humanity is the only race that can create new emotions.
Mm.
Like that would explain why Tharos is so afraid of humans being
Hmm.
lanterns. If like they have the ability to create new emotions, because every new emotion has been created on Earth. Whether it be like every new lantern core has basically been formed on Earth, at least after the original like six were established. Um,
Yeah.
so it's pretty wild. But what emotion would you want to see added? I
That's
think
tough.
hungry would be or hangry would be pretty funny.
Angry.
Hangry would be pretty hilarious.
Yeah, where's just the horny lantern core? Where's that? Where's that?
Yeah, that's also a good one. Yeah, hangry and horny. There you go. That'll be that. Hangry definitely has to be like bright. Man, I'm trying to think of the
No,
color that it
the
would be.
literally the trouble is the colors because like
Yeah,
the gray was like the last one that I thought of because gold
gray. Even
was
that was like a little bit of a stretch.
right. No, exactly. So it's like
Because
it's
it's like
tough.
at first I thought he was a life lantern. I was like, what?
Hmm. Exactly.
Oh yeah, completely forgot about gold too.
Yeah. So there's been
I guess
gold
we could go into neon colors if we really want to go
or
crazy.
well metallic colors,
Yeah,
I
I guess
guess
yeah. So like
bronze and
hangry should be like copper.
copper and silver. But
Yeah.
there's no
You know, your
brown,
three
right?
emotions. It's hope, horny, and then hangry. Those are the three emotions that deserve the medals. Medals of honor.
What? There's no brown yet, right?
No, there isn't. You're right. There is no brown. Honestly, that's surprising that there isn't a brown. Now that I think
So
about that.
I
Because
don't know
there's
what that would
black,
be, but
there's white. Yeah, there's no brown. Huh.
yeah, I don't know what you would make that, but yeah, I wouldn't be against them going that route. I don't know if maybe they're building up for like an event or something, but yeah, this Green Lantern book has just been so much fun, and I'm excited that it's continuing.
Yeah, people have just made fan brown lantern cores, but that's not even like a thing.
Poop Lantern.
I
I gotta
really
take a
have to
shit
shit.
Lantern.
I really have to go to the bathroom,
I mean,
bro.
that's the problem. Is like I don't know how you're not gonna just yeah. I don't know what emotion you're gonna do for Brown,
No,
but
Hal would definitely crack a
anyway.
joke every 5 minutes. Like literally he would not be able to like it'd be like the epitome of that meme of like holding it in. Like every joke in.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, it's yeah. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. Because
Yeah.
this shit crazy.
Hmm.
This event crazy.
Yeah. All right, Lucas. That brings us to your next pull.
Yeah, my next poll is DC versus Vampires World War V #2. Um, did not expect to have this on the second issue already. Fixed one major problem that I had with it. Immediately killed Barbara. So immediately it was like, okay, cool, we're back. We're back to not having a vampire queen that wants to work with humanity. It's like, okay, at least we cleared that plot line up. We killed her off. She's done. But I like that. Basically, Sunlight's back. We get a status quo checkup on everyone. Green Arrow's kind of leading the resistance for the humans with John Constantine and a bunch of others. Um, and basically they walk free during the day, and then at night they kind of have a peace treaty with the vampires. So far as like humans don't kill them and vice versa. But now that Barbara's dead, it's gonna go bad. Especially because the vampires have been asking Constantine and all of them to handle Damien, because Damien's just been like solo killing them. Like he's just been like, fuck it, you guys are cowards. I'm gonna kill all the vampires myself. Uh, and like he's completely bloodlusted. He doesn't care anymore about following any of those orders. So he is just by himself. But all the other vampires are so terrified of him that they literally asked, "It's like, okay, can you humans handle him, please?" But Barbara's dead now, so it now is a free for all. And also, first issue of the book, we saw two brutal deaths immediately as soon as it started. Kyle Rayner and Jon Stewart get immediately killed because they've been off Galaxy this entire time, didn't know what was happening, came to Earth, and it was like, man, everyone looks weird, and immediately got fucking grabbed by Wonder Woman and all these different heroes, and got fucking murked. um, but yeah, it explained a little bit why they were away, because they were like, oh, Hal sent us this distress signal on the other side of the galaxy, and it's like, oh, well, Hal was a vampire, so he was trying to get rid of them at the time. Makes sense. Because their rings would probably be the only thing that could detect a vampire, to be honest, at least immediately. Mm-hmm. But yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they gave a good explanation for that, because I feel like that's a stunt that they could pull multiple times. Just have like off-world people just come in and get, killed or turn into a vampire, and just that would be an endless like supply. But I guess if they haven't touched a lot of like the off-world, off-Earth stuff,
Yeah, it's kind of been isolated on Earth, which is good so far. I mean, it gives you more range for story if you want to tell later down the line. But I will say, thank God they didn't turn them both into vampires, because if Hal showed anything, it's that Green Lantern vampires are overpowered because they can walk in the sun and everything, because they just put a construct around them.
Right.
So, and I mean, just being able to like create anything with your mind is just, you can just grab someone and then immediately bring them to you. So yeah. It's pretty overpowered.
That's a cool vampire mechanic.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm really, really excited to see what's going to happen.
Cool.
And what's your top pick, Elias?
My top pick for this week is going to be Vengeance of the Moon Knight, number 9. If you can believe it, I know it's hard to believe.
Man, crazy.
This is the final issue of Vengeance of Moon Knight. Last issue was a lot of fun. Dealt with the fallout of Blood Hunt for the most part, but we still didn't touch on Shroud, which I was surprised. I can only think that this issue will do that, with this beautiful cover, by the way. Amazing cover by so Davide Peratore. Super, super cool. And yeah, the synopsis just says classified, so I'm assuming they are going to do some big stuff with Shroud. I hope so, because he's been a cool addition to the Moon Knight universe. But yeah, so we dealt with Mark reuniting with Reese and Soldier and all that good stuff, all the relationships that are coming back, and Mark encountering Khonshu, and Khonshu saying, you have to kill the Moon Knight. They kept that a little vague. I think he means Shroud.
Yeah.
That's what I would assume. But yeah, this is opening up the conversation that Mark is now having to have with Khonshu, and probably going to have on a lot of things, especially because the next run is called Fist of Khonshu. So yeah, the next series will be starting very soon, which is exciting. I've been loving this Moon Knight team, and I will not complain that there's no slowdown here, because I have no doubt that Jed has many, many more plans.
Yeah, I mean, I even love this one issue of everyone, Mark checking on everyone and being like surprised by how well they handled themselves while he was gone. Yeah. I really love that. And I love the respect that he was giving everyone. He was like, you know what? I don't need to give orders. You guys handle yourself. You guys do what you do. I'm gonna do some stuff my own. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it was really cool. I love the relationship between him and Tigra. That was really awesome. Reese and Soldier getting it, like still holding down the fort for the Midnight Mission was awesome. Overall, this story has been great. But yeah, um, Shroud's fucking dead. If I had to choose a fight between Shroud and Mark, I'm sorry, but Mark is winning. I don't care that Shroud has powers. It's he's cooked.
I also really like the 8 ball interaction. I thought that was good.
Yes. Oh my god, that was so
Um,
funny. I love the long pause, and I was like, "Good job."
yeah,
It was
yeah.
so good. I even love Khonshu's narration in the previous issue where he was like, or the
The zero issue.
the zero issue where he was talking about, and this 8 ball person, I don't understand.
Yeah, who
I
the
don't
fuck
understand
is
what's
this?
my son's association with him. It's
Hmm.
just really funny. I love how 8 ball's just caught in between like the wildest shit. But I also love that he's now becoming a hero. Like it's making a character that literally no one would have ever gave a fuck about, and making him so funny because no one knows anything about him.
Yeah, it's
Oh
it's really
god.
fun, and yeah, it was just cool to see Mark kind of step back and just recognize and appreciate his team while he was away. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this one's going to wrap up and how it's going to launch us into the next volume.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Yeah. All right, Lucas, that brings us to the top pick. What is yours?
Department of Truth. Come on. Y'all know the deal. It's issue number 25 of the series, and we're finally getting it. We're finally getting the moment that changes everything. JFK is getting domed tonight. We're going to be seeing him getting shot at the motorcade. We're really excited. We got a lot of build up. We had a lot of interesting stuff building with the Ministry of Lies, and Lee Harvey Oswald learning about certain stuff. But this is the end of this arc, so this is the moment, and I'm really, really interested to see what's going to happen, especially because um, there was a lot of setup with the Department of Truth not liking JFK because he was so such a public figure. Rumors and stuff like that were swirling around him, causing stuff to change. So they really didn't like him, and they almost like ask Lee to kill him, which is like another theory that the CIA actually wanted to kill him. Like it's bringing in so many theories to the point where like you're just like, what is happening? Um, but like Department of Truth always says, everything's real, everything's true, everything's a figment, everything's a lie. And this series, oh man, and also Martin Simmons, the art, bro. You man, you don't need to go that hard. But I love that you do. Like every time I pick up the series, I'm just like, man, I wonder what Martin Simmons is going to do to outshine himself. Oh, 3 double-page spreads. Okay, awesome. It's like, okay, and it would just be like a double-page spread for just a conversation, just to show like symbolically what's happening in the conversation. And it's like, this has nothing to do with the conversation, like physically at that moment. So it's just like you're just flexing, bro. You're just like, yeah, nah, I'm a flex real quick. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. And
I
I'm
really
also,
wonder.
I'm sorry.
I really wonder what Martin's like turnaround time is, though, because I mean, he's now regularly back on Department of Truth. Was doing Dracula as a monthly series. It's like I wonder what his turnaround time is. Has it gotten faster since he's been in the comic book industry? Because obviously, he's a painter, and with a lot of painters, they need a lot of time. But I
That
mean,
was
this is
actually what I was
just
going to bring up.
a crazy
Next
schedule.
next arc, he's not going to be on the series,
Ah, okay. But he's on the
but it
covers.
is going to be Allison Sampson who did the psychedelic issue previously for Department of Truth, which was a really sick issue.
Right.
Um, Basically, it was an issue where Lee Harvey Oswald did acid for the first time,
Hmm.
and they explained the concept of like if someone believes hard enough while they're on acid that something's happening, it will actually happen. So if they believe that they're a god or having ego death or something, it will actually happen.
Word.
But every time a god spawns, they like obliterate themselves because they think they're all powerful, and then it's like all that power has to go somewhere. It's
Uh-huh.
wild.
Yeah.
But next arc is going to be really interesting because we're going to be dealing with a wild fiction hunter, who is basically those people that hunt Bigfoots and stuff like that. But we're going to be specifically tackling the wild fiction of Marilyn Monroe. So, because Marilyn Monroe is in such a spotlight with JFK, she's getting changed also. So, this is going to be someone trying to basically kill her in the Department of Truth while she's like keeps changing, like certain stuffs about her past or actions keep changing as her relationship with JFK accelerates and accelerates. So, it's going to be wild. Going to be wild.
It's good at least Martin staying on the covers, keeping some sort of visual consistency there. So that's nice.
Oh yeah, no, I doubt he's going to be gone for long. I'm pretty sure this arc is just going to last 2 issues, and then we'll probably be back to him drawing,
Word.
painting. I mean, we didn't have such a long period of time in between the books. I'm sure that he was working on the art for this series in between their hiatus, just so that he could have some like double page spreads already prepped and stuff like that for ideas. Because I'm sure him and James Tynion know what they want the story to go to.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, really exciting stuff. 25 issues is crazy.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to see where the series is going to go, because I once this comes out, that because he's telling this to a reporter. That's the thing you also have to keep in mind. He's telling this to a reporter who is going to publish the story. So as soon as they publish this, the Department of Truth is now suddenly in the public mind, and that means any rumors, any ideas of them can literally change how the department works. So it is such a huge status quo shift. And it also reveals the idea that like fictions can change reality. Like it's going to be insane. It's going to be wild. So I get why we're not yet touching on the present day as much, because as soon as we do, it's going to be gas to the floor, and shit's going to hit the fan.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to us ramble about our favorite comics. Remember to like, subscribe, support your local comic shop, and read comics. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 See you guys later.
Nuke him again.
Take care.